to another episode of The Reality of Being a YouTuber slash podcaster. I'm your host, Alex Hampton. In today's episode, we're going to talk about networking. And today, I have a very special guest on this particular episode. I've been wanting to network with him for a minute now, but we couldn't just do it because of time. But now this whole virus thing has broke out. I have plenty of time to network with anybody. So I want to welcome you guys to Mr. Alex Miner, the owner of I Am Media. How are you doing today, Alex?
Well, I'm still alive. So something's going right.
Yeah. I mean, better alive than dead, I guess, you know? Oh,
yeah.
Man, how are you getting through this whole virus thing, man?
One day at a time. Like it's definitely knocked me off of my normally even keel, or at least my outward appearance of a normally even keel. I swear, in here it feels like I'm always going 100 miles a minute. But basically, it's just I'm having to totally rethink life, basically, because the majority of my income over the last 8-9 years has been from the live events industry, corporate events, and all that stuff is gone. It's gone. Like I had work. I didn't have a ton of work lined up, but I had some work lined up for like April and May, and and even the end of March, and just gone. I've got a little bit of stuff lined up for later in the year, but I'm not counting on that. So because I know I can't count on it, I'm having to just reassess and try to see, what skills do I have, what strengths can I play to, and what resources might I have that other people might find valuable.
Right. And I definitely agree. And, you touched on something. You said that, for the last 8 or 9 years, you've been able to do what you're currently doing full time, where you don't necessarily work for a corporate overlord, but, you essentially work for yourself. And
I had a plantation back in
The plantation, that's hilarious. Hey man, I feel that, man. And how did you, before we get into networking and linking up with people, because I know for me, I worked in the hospitality industry, and I had things lined up. I'm also a DJ. A lot of that stuff got canceled too, so that's majority of my my income too. So I've been able to reassess and get play to my resources. But, how did you get started in the whole process of doing what you're currently doing right now?
Well, okay. So I went to school for professional audio. So I've done work as an independent musician, music producer, audio engineer, and a few years after school, I managed to land a position working for one of the local news stations, Channel 13. It's a cable news station here in Orlando. And I worked there from 2008 to 2011. And it was at the beginning of 2011, like I'd had enough. I was fed up. And I don't even remember what the catalyst was, but just one day something happened. I don't know whether it was a management thing or somebody I was directly working with, but somebody pissed me off, and I'm sitting there and the thought just comes through my mind. It's like, I'm done. I can't do it no more. And that day I typed up my resignation and emailed it to my boss and was like, yeah, I'm out in a week or 2 weeks, whatever it was. And, but I was able to make that decision because starting that January, I had started picking up some gigs, freelancing, in corporate events by accident, because I was actually trying to find another full-time job. And one of the companies that I applied to for a full-time job was like, yo, we don't want to hire you full-time, but we'll hire you part-time, which was their word for freelancing. Because they had you signed up as a W-2 employee rather than a 1099 employee, take all the taxes, all that stuff. But it was freelancing, so as needed basis. And when I started doing that, quickly started seeing what the opportunity there was by talking to people, text talk to each other. And, while some people hold things close to the chest, there was a lot of text that was just like, ready to tell you how much money they made, how many different companies they work with, what the names of those companies were, what the contact information was. And so by the time, so when, whatever that fateful day was, by that time I had at least 4 or 5 companies who I was on their call list. Mm-hmm. And so I felt comfortable, not totally comfortable, but comfortable enough because I knew there was more. I knew there was a bunch of opportunities I was missing because I had a full-time job. Mm-hmm. And I knew the potential of the industry, that there was way more potential for money as a freelancer than there was where I was. Because I wasn't even making, I was barely making over $12 an hour working for the TV station. Right. And that was only because 2 years prior to me working at the TV station, I had been working for their parent company, the local cable network, and as a repair technician. Right. But even then, to take that job at the station, I took a pay cut. Mm-hmm. And so after being there for 3 years, I wasn't even back to where I was when I took the pay cut.
Dang. Man, that sounds like a lot of hurdles, man. But it seems like, though, you took you took those opportunities and you've built, what you are currently doing right now. Obviously, you can't do much now given the situation of what's going on in our country and other parts of the world. But at the end of the day, you took it upon yourself to reach out to other people and establish your name and build your brand. And, for me, as a YouTuber, not just as a YouTuber, but as an entrepreneur, building your brand, you can only do that so much. But the thing about building a brand is you have to network with people, collaborations with people, get your information out there with people. And I can just speak from me personally. When I would do interviews with certain celebrities or certain actors, I literally had to put myself out there just so, hey, I want to give the opportunity just to have a conversation with you about what you do. And it's not easy, and for me, I've noticed, like, during your career, like, I've noticed, I watched the videos you post on Facebook and stuff. You network with a lot of small businesses. Like you said, you're in the entertainment industry. You do videos, you do audio, you do a lot of commentary stuff. I was wondering how hard or how essential is it to network in your line of work?
The thing that I've learned, especially in the last year or so, of really, because all the stuff that I do for live events, corporate events, goes under one company name, which is Heroes for Hire. That's for all my comic book nerds out there. Yeah. But then what I'm pushing currently is my content in my videography and content creation company, and that's I Am Media. Right. And in trying to get I Am Media to the point where it's super solid, the thing that I have very much learned is that everything is dependent on your network. Right. So word of mouth is still a very powerful thing when it comes to business and branding, especially when you are trying to build a business that serves other businesses, because, and even in consumer businesses that serve consumers, just because money ain't infinite. And even when people got money, they want to know that where they're going to spend it, the dollars that you're charging are worth it. So, having people willing to stand up and say, yeah, he's legit, it's super powerful. Right. And that's in any facet of brand building, marketing, whether you're a Fortune 500 company or whether you're a mom and pop shop or whether you're pizza delivery, having somebody willing to say, like, yeah, I love them, they're legit, like, I love their service, that will often make people's decision for them, because it's like, all right, well, if they spent their money and they were cool, then I can spend my money. Like,
right. The whole premise or the idea for this series is letting people know that although that this is something that we do from time to time, for you full time, I want people to know the reality that what we do may be fun. It may seem simple on the camera or outside the camera side, but what we do on a day-to-day basis is actually not that easy. when I'm networking with people, it's sometimes hard to get in contact with them. And then when I do get in contact with them, I only have a small amount of time to network with them. And Alex touched on earlier about, rethinking his strategy given the current circumstances we are in terms of how to utilize his resources and focus where he's good at other places, other areas that, that may need his resources. And the thing is that as a content creator of anything, whether it's, videos, audio, whatever the case may be, you have to constantly not necessarily rebrand, but rethink your strategy in terms of getting your stuff out to where you feel, where not necessarily where you feel valuable, but where people can see your value and utilize you. And I've noticed with Alex, it's funny because every time you say Alex, I'm thinking about myself in the third person. But I've noticed with you in particular, you spoke on videography. I noticed that there are the company you mentioned, Heroes for Hire, or Heroes for, was it Heroes for Hire?
Hero for hire,
Yeah, Heroes for Hire. They fly you out to different cities. Like last video I saw you on YouTube, you were like in Seattle or somewhere recording a video. Yeah. And you do that type of videography stuff with that different company. And you spoke earlier about how essential it is to network. How hard was it to, I guess, get to the point where you are for the last 8 or 9 years? You just you're doing this. You're not working for nobody but yourself, really.
Yeah, that well, if you're in any major market, there's going to be, well, unless there's another pandemic, there's going to be a certain amount. There's going to be a certain presence of the live events industry. And what I mean is like not just concerts, but also corporate events, which is where I am. I like corporate events because the money's a lot more, well, it was a lot more dependable and better than concerts. Because concerts, until you're like a big dog, kind of like doing the kind of stuff that I do or the equivalent in audio or lighting, the money is really not that good. But in corporate events, it's a lot easier to make a decent amount of money. So when I started out, like I said, I was doing stagehand work, but I got eyeballs. I'm looking around. I'm seeing on shows that the guys who are working the full show, not just the load in or the load out, those technical positions, they where I'm only working on the show for a day and a half or 2 days, they're there for a week. They're there for or more. And so it's like, well, they must be making the real money. So once again, I start talking to people. I start talking to techs and finding out what kind of money they made. And it's like, word? All right, well, I ain't stupid. I can learn. And so then it was talking to those kind of people to find out like, yo, what do I need to know to do what you do? And fortunately, I found some good people who weren't afraid to talk to me and be like, yo, bro, you need to get this type of training. You need to go to this place. And once you got that, you can learn the rest of it on the job. And so what I started doing was stacking up certifications in video stuff because, like I said, I started out as an audio guy. But on those events, there was a lot more opportunity in the audio department of the video department of the show than in the audio department of the show. Because on a full show run, you're gonna have probably 2 audio guys, but the video crew could be anywhere from 2 people to 10.
Exactly. Yeah.
On a decent sized show, sometimes even more, depending on what kind of show it is. And so I can count. I could see there was more video people. I'm like, and there are so many friggin' audio people or wannabe audio people in Orlando. It's disgusting. So video is a harder skill to come by. So I went out, took the dude's advice that I talked to, and started getting training. I started racking up these certifications, and those certifications, that paper trail opened up doors for me. I was able to cold email event and production companies across the country and be like, yo, these are my credentials. And because not a lot of people have those credentials, they were willing to talk to me, or they were willing to ask around about me. And that's where that importance of reputation comes in, because a lot of them would let me know the first time that we talked, like, yo, we ask around about you. Like basically telling me that if people hadn't vouched for you, we would not be speaking.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've had Full disclosure, because I interview a lot of celebrities and just actors. There was one, I won't say who, but there was one celebrity that I interviewed last year, and again, I won't say who. They had asked one of the people that I had interviewed previously, what's he like and all this other stuff. And the previous person that I interviewed was just telling this person, hey, he does this. If you watch our interview, he doesn't dive into drama, all this other stuff, and you are going to have such a great time. So once she did her background check on me, we did the interview and she loved it. We had a really, really, really good time doing that interview. And it's like you said, it's like building your reputation, building your credits. I want people out there who wants to get started on either is YouTubing or building your business, podcasting, whatever. This stretch just more outside the realms of YouTube. If you don't build up your reputation as a just a good, genuine person, you don't have to be like, you don't have to be like you don't have to be Captain America, a goody two shoes. Just be a genuine person and connect with people. That is going to get you in the door faster than you think. And also get some certifications or put something under your belt and say, hey, I've done this. Now, again, that's easier said than done. But if you don't take the risks to put yourself out there, you may not get to where you want to be in life. And now that we are in somewhat of a quarantine, I've been preaching and telling people, yo, if you create content, create it. If you want to do, if you want to talk about superheroes, talk about that. If you want to do anything in the nature of creating any form of content, create it. Now is the time to do it because you at home watching Netflix doing nothing. And so, but Alex, I wanted to ask you, what are some quick tips that you can give others who are just starting out in this and building their brands and, getting to the space that we are as creators?
You got to stop being afraid to suck. That's the first thing that you got to do. Because so many people don't start, whether it's creating content or building a business or whatever it is, whatever endeavor that most normal people don't do. Mm-hmm. The reason that most people don't do it is because they're afraid to suck. Once you lose the fear of sucking, because you're gonna suck when you first start. Yeah. That's just the reality. Yeah. Or like whatever creative craft or even technical craft, the first time you pick it up, a tool, a camera, or whatever it is, you're going to suck. Mm-hmm. If you can lose the fear of sucking, if you can lose the fear of people judging you for sucking when you first start, you're opening up a world of possibility to you. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that latches onto that, the first thing that I tell people whenever they ask me about YouTube or putting content out on social media is that here's the reality when you first start, other than the fact that you're going to suck. Mm-hmm. Nobody's watching and nobody cares.
Yeah, that's very true.
But the powerful thing about being in that position is that it gives you time to get better. So if you go ahead and you start creating content rapid fire when you first start, repetition, practice may not make perfect, but it's gonna make for some improvement. And the thing that people get caught up in this idea of quality content. Mm-hmm. And usually when they say quality content, they're speaking on a technical level, mm-hmm. or that's at least a component of it. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, depending on the platform that you're producing content on, quality don't matter. You can, cell phone videos still work. Right. Cell phone videos will launch courses that like I got a friend with another content creation company or marketing company. He also got multiple companies. This dude owns multiple companies. Mm-hmm. And I just took this course from him all about how to launch courses fast, or not just courses, but any type of medium for your business, how to launch it fast. Mm-hmm. He did that. He conceived and launched the course in 8 days.
Oh, wow.
And yeah. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I paid for this course. Mm-hmm. And he told us straight up, yo, I made 10 G's off of y'all. And I came up with this 8 days ago.
Wow.
But now anybody else who wants to get it, they're going to pay more than y'all did. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
he's like, I made 5 figures in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Get off your butt, start doing stuff.
Yeah.
And that just shows what the power of execution and not. And the thing is, he didn't walk into this blind. Like, true, he's got a bunch of experience launching courses, but with this particular course, he didn't know if people were going to want it when he thought it up. But he thought, he got the idea. He did a little bit of research. He went to his email list and to his audience and tested the waters and said, "Hey, I'm going to be doing this course. Who wants it?" And from the response he got of just asking the question, it was, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And not months of intensive research and exhaustion. Hey, I got this idea. Y'all want it? And he got enough people saying yes. So he was like, all right, I'm going to actually finish it now. And he told us straight up, yo, I finished these slides this morning when he was on the, he's like, I finished putting this course together this morning.
Oh, wow.
And now y'all are taking it.
Oh, wow.
And now I'm gonna go back to the lab. I'm gonna polish it up, and I'm gonna make more money. Like, and from the things that I've learned creating this course, I'm gonna make another course. Like,
oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I mean, and you know, it's funny. Like, that's what we mean by putting yourself out there. You know, if you personally are out there and you want to make money, or not necessarily just make money, but create and learn, and the best way to network with anybody is to put yourself out there. And like Alex said, all he did was create a format, study it, and ask a question, and then he executed it within 8 days, and he made 10 G's. And like and the same way that person did that, you can do that too. Same. And you know, there's a quick points that I want to say about just networking in general in terms of this particular episode. The reality is that, like Alex said, you are going to suck. That's just being honest. And like he said, you know, you're not going to get, people are not going to care about your content. Here's the thing though, like me and Alex, and if you follow him on YouTube, you can see it as well. We all started from zero. We all started from zero. Exactly. You go to my older stuff, really bad. We all started from zero. I currently right now have over 2,500 subscribers. Alex has over, I believe, over 1,500 or somewhere around there. Or
I'm at 2,500.
yeah, about 2,500. And not only that, not only has Alex done that for his YouTube channel, he's found ways to monetize his talent. And that's the thing. And he did all that by not only building his brand, but networking. But you have to understand that it didn't just happen overnight. This took time. And when
just to be real, like, I still suck at networking. It's my biggest weakness.
Yeah.
Like networking and slow execution are my biggest weaknesses. And they keep me from making way more money than I could. And I've made 6 figures the last several years.
And see, that's and see, even with me, like prime example, like what he just said, I suck at networking too. You know what's funny? We already in April, today's the 8th. I should have been networked with Alex a long time ago. And you know, and this is not just with just him, but with others as well. And like he said, like, networking, it's not only just a process, but even at the stature of where we are now, it still takes time. It still takes time, and you're going to suck. You're just going to suck. That is the reality of being on here on this particular episode of networking. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Alex, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at the Alex Minor, TheAlexMinor on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. It's Alex Minor. Just search my name and I'll come up. And then I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm a big advocate of LinkedIn. You can find me there too.
Awesome. And you know where to find us, guys, here at Momentum Media. You can follow us all over social media. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm not asking for donations for Patreon, given the fact that we are in some trying times right now. So I want everybody to just save your money, divert your resources, and create content. And not only create content, watch our content as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, you have a blessed day.